Welcome to Safe Travels. My name's Tony. I want to talk about Las Vegas. I just did an episode on Dubai, and I'm hitting right to Vegas because Dubai is the Las Vegas of the Middle East. And when I say that, it's nothing like Las Vegas, except that things are much freer there in a comparative sense, relative sense. Now, in Vegas, in the United States, Vegas is a pretty cool town. If you go to Vegas, one of the things I would recommend to you is to get the tour of the Grand Canyon. That includes a helicopter ride and the riverboat ride. You can take you'll take a car, whatever it is, a Hummer, car, limo, however much money you want to spend, Jeep. You can see the Hoover Dam, which is pretty cool. It's pretty big. You can stop on some Indian reservations. You will be able to take a helicopter, and it was the first time I was ever in a helicopter. Loved it. I hate little small planes. Love helicopters. You'll go down into the canyon, you'll land, you'll get off, you get on a boat. The guy, there's like any tour operator, they're gonna tell you some silly story, blah blah blah. But it's pretty cool. It is a wonder to behold. All right, so and then drive back. You can spend a whole day. That's a whole day in Vegas, Colorado, Grand Canyon, the whole thing. So wonderful stuff. The other part of Vegas is Fremont Street Experience. I can't even remember now. They've used lights and they create this whole tunnel. You walk through the tunnel and there's stuff projected, shown on these huge lights. It's pretty cool. It's something you gotta see. I don't know if it's ever been done anywhere else. It's cool. And now if you're young and you're drunk, it's probably a little cooler maybe. I don't know. I don't recommend drinking alcohol and all that, but it can be a good time. The other part about Las Vegas is casinos. Some casinos, they try and do certain things. I think MGM Grand has the lions indoors, which is kind of neat. Okay, it's like going to a zoo. They have some lions. That's cool. But a casino is a casino. All right, they close out the windows. They don't want you to know whether it's day or night outside, so you lose track of time. You don't see clocks anywhere. Okay, there's your tip. Number one, wear a watch. All right, think about what you're doing. The other part is casinos are casinos. There's very little difference they can make between them. I mean, they can put a different theme up. And yeah, you can walk into one and it looks like the backdrop to a Western saloon, and you walk into another and it looks like a, whatever. But there's still blackjack, craps, roulette, all that. The other parts of Vegas, you have to do a comedy club. You have to do the hypnotist shows. All right, and people, I don't recommend it. Getting up and doing it, especially if it's gonna be videotaped nowadays. But whatever, it can be interesting. Comedy shows are always great. And it's they can always be fun, especially when you get some jerk in the audience and they they can start going at it. The other parts about Vegas are the buffets. A buffet is a buffet. It's masked food. It's shoved out there. Sometimes you get some good stuff. Sometimes it's been sitting out there. Okay. But it's food. The shows. All right, now when you go to Vegas, they have some pretty big shows, and you gotta plan in advance. Always plan in advance when you're traveling. It just makes sense. In Vegas, I saw Ka, Cirque du Soleil, Ka, and great job. Wonderful show. I'm trying to think of what else I saw out there. I don't remember. But anyway, you got to catch some of those. And the other thing you're going to realize about Las Vegas is the magic shows. You can catch one of those. They will, depending on how much time you have, and your threshold for certain things is there is timeshare. They want to sell timeshare like you would not believe. And they will give you tickets to shows. They're going to give you all sorts of stuff. Um, if you go, we'll tour their little community and see some videos and listen to some spiel and have someone shove timeshare down your throat. So if you can deal with that, you can get some free cool stuff. If you can't deal with it, then do not do it. Because they will get you to sign. I mean, I didn't sign. I know people who did. The other part of Vegas is you get Old Vegas, some cheaper slot machines, things like that, and some cheaper game tables. Let's see. While you are in Vegas, because Vegas is such a tourist area, there if you go through one part, they will have where survey groups, where you might watch a new TV show, and they'll talk to you about it. They'll pull you on it, and they'll get your opinion. The cameras will be there. There'll be people watching, maybe behind, the glass. So that's kind of cool. If you get a chance to participate in one, why not? You might get like $50 or $20 or whatever. Shopping, if you got cash, Vegas, you can buy all sorts of insane stuff in Vegas. You can see all sorts of insane stuff in Vegas. There's the fountains. It's a nice fountain. It's a nice water show. Fountains go off. There's music. It's kind of cool. You can see a whole bunch of other stuff. They try to rebuild little pyramids, and there's the Eiffel Tower and all that stuff. Vegas is a cool spot. I recommend Vegas. I refer to Dubai as the Las Vegas of the Middle East, and in a culture like the United States, where you can go in any bar in any town, anywhere in the United States, and you can have alcohol, and you can smoke, and you can't smoke indoors anymore in most places. We're definitely much freer. You have things like spring break in the United States. In the Middle East, you don't. So in the Middle East, when it's cut loose, okay, they go to the bar. There are bars. You can buy alcohol. In Dubai, it's designed for that international community. But you don't cut loose, okay? You can still, I did not do it. I know people who did. There's a prostitution there. I believe there's drugs. I can assure you it's nowhere near the level as it is in Las Vegas. Now in Las Vegas, you walk down the street, people hand you cards for escorts, for shows. Adult situations run rampant in Vegas. So you have to be prepared. And just like any city like that, any city that promotes itself on gambling, alcohol, sex, fun, is going to have crime. So there's going to be criminals out there trying to steal from you. People will be picking your pocket. They'll try. Vegas tries to do a great job, but they have crime. You're gonna, other than that, I think Vegas is a sight to behold. It is different, so it's worth going to. In my book, anything that's different is worth seeing at least once. But if you don't have a whole lot of money, you're gonna end up walking around a lot and seeing stuff. If you don't plan it right and have enough money to do the shows and do these little things, you won't be able to kill a lot of time. Because if you're killing a lot of time, chances are you're doing it gambling, which costs a lot of money, unless you're very, very good. And I'm pretty sure that all the casinos are not making all that money because, most people go win money. If you want my recommendations, blackjack is your best odds. If you don't know a game, do not play it. If you do not know a game, learn before you go because you're going to annoy a lot of people. I don't want to make this about gambling, but if you're playing blackjack, if you go to play blackjack in any casino in the world, do not take the first seat, do not take the last seat if you don't know what you're doing. Okay? You will piss people off. Alright? The other thing about gambling is normally what is not a bad way to go is you set aside a certain amount of money to gamble, if you win over that amount, take that money back, put it in your pocket, and play with the bank's money. Play with the casino's money. All right. Always split aces and eights if you're playing blackjack. That's a rule. Don't hit on 17. Don't do it ever, 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 ever. Okay, please. Don't hit on 16, as a matter of fact. And in fact, the only real question is 12 or 13. If the dealer's showing anything under a 6, don't hit. Okay? And you can make up your own rules. I think that's pretty solid advice, and I'll tell you why. Because in blackjack, sometimes a dealer gets on a roll and you can't. They're hot. I mean, that's the way it is. But with blackjack, if you break, you may as well give your money to. You're going to give your money to them. If you force yourself to lose, you will not win. But even if you have a 12 every single hand, and the dealer busts half the time, at least you win half the time. Okay? But if you have 12 every single hand and you take a card and you bust every single time, then you lose every single time. Okay, so other than that, if you get into the craps and the roulette, know what you're doing. It can be fun to watch when some people are on a real big roll. I'm not going to give you any tips on roulette. I gave you my tips on blackjack. I think that is the smartest play. It's the easiest game, simplest game, and there's other suggestions I can make, but I think for the most part, you can stick with those. What else is there? Vegas. That's about it. That's my review of Vegas. Great spot. Got to go see it, especially if there's a trade show. If you're in an industry and there's a trade show there, whether you can mix it in is great. Book a day early, book a day late, and you can plan that show. It saves you all that time. That'd be cool. So anyway, that's my review of Vegas. Check it out when you get a chance. It's definitely worth seeing. All right then. Thank you for your time. That's been Safe Travels.